You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rojance for our Black and White Sports. A couple of weeks ago, Bill Maher came out. He made some comments about the fact that the NFL is doing the Black National Anthem along with the National Anthem. He slammed it, and he said, look, you're pushing an agenda that is trying to get us back to segregation. He also put out there a lot of really good examples, particularly last night, of things going on in this country. Like at one of the universities of Michigan up there, I think it's maybe in Dearborn, they're pushing a whites-only cafe. In another place, they're pushing a minorities-only gym. Okay, we're taking steps backwards 70 years right now, and the NFL has been on board with that. Roger Goodell is pushing that agenda. He's part of the problem. The NFL is part of the problem. And, of course, Bill Maher's taken a lot of fallout from that. Now, Bill Maher has come out and said a lot of common sense things. Bill Maher is a classic liberal. Okay, a lot of people believe Bill Maher is getting red-pilled. I don't believe that, okay? I don't think I can ever see Bill Maher voting for a Trump or a DeSantis or a Ted Cruz. I just don't think he's ever going to be able to do it. But I've always said he's what a regular Democrat used to be, somebody that was a little bit more in the middle and then differed on 3 or 4 issues off to the side that caused you to vote in one direction or the other. Well, he took a lot of fallout. Whoopi Goldberg and The View, we all know they're lunatics, leftist lunatics. It's a toss-up between Whoopi and Joey Behar as to who is a bigger nutbag. Totally crazy. Well, she come out, she slammed Bill Maher, and she used the term, and this is one of the most dangerous terms in the history of the world, re-education. When you start saying words like re-education, that is a dangerous term. It is a scary term. It's a Chinese Communist Party term is what it is. Let's just keep it real. Well, last night, Bill Maher came back, and he absolutely destroyed Whoopi Goldberg, and he gave her quite the education on his show over the NFL and the Black National Anthem and what that is doing to the country. He gave her a nice little history lesson, and we're going to go over that. This is trending. I wake up every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning, Bill Maher is being canceled by the left. Every Saturday morning now. You go on Twitter, people are trying to cancel Bill Maher all over the place. The woke are coming after Bill Maher. And I'll give Bill Maher credit. He's not backing down. He's not. Bill Maher schools Whoopi Goldberg on Black National Anthem. Separate but equal is out of step. Real time, Bill Maher doubled down on his opposition to the Black National Anthem and offered a scathing response to The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg, who criticized his argument. Earlier this month, Maher slammed the NFL for its inclusion of Lift Every Voice and Sing, suggesting while he's open to a new anthem for the U.S., playing the Black National Anthem along with the Star Spangled Banner at each football game is segregation under a different name. Days later, Goldberg took exception to Maher's complaining during the discussion about his remarks. Quote, I think because we have gone backwards a good 10 or 15 years, we're going to have to re-educate people, Goldberg said. Yikes. On Friday night, Maher returned to the subject, insisting to his viewers that his opinion, quote, we shouldn't have 2 anthems, is the, quote, correct opinion. The program The View last week devoted a lot of time to this while somehow avoiding what I actually said, Maher said. It seemed to be a lot about a need to school me about the Black National Anthem itself. Whoopi Goldberg said, quote, we're going to have to re-educate people because nothing ever goes wrong when you start talking about re-education. Just ask Chairman Meow. Maybe we can set up some sort of camps. That's right. China, anybody. Re-education camps, anybody. Uyghurs, anybody. Calling himself, quote, an old school liberal, the HBO star defended the, quote, crazy idea that segregating by race is bad. And while reiterating that the U.S. should get rid of the Star-Spangled Banner, he firmly argued that has to be just one anthem. After all, it is the national anthem. I don't agree with Maher on that. Symbols of unity matter, and purposely fragmenting things by race reinforces a terrible message that we are two nations hopelessly drifting apart from each other. That's not where we were 10 years ago, and it's not where we should be now, Maher told his audience, which they responded with applause. Maher then played a clip of then-candidate Barack Obama. There's not a black America or white America, there is a United States of America, adding, where we should be now is here. If we have two anthems, why not three or five? Why not a women's anthem, a Latino anthem, a gay, trans, indigenous people, an Asian Pacific Islander anthem? Because, quote, I'm not dealing with you, I'm not speaking to you, is not the way you run a country. And most people of all backgrounds understand that already. I don't even want to try to do it that way. Quote, I'm not out of step. Believing in separate but equal, that's out of step by 67 years. It was 67 years ago in 1954 when the Supreme Court handed down their landmark Brown versus Board of Education ruling, which said separate but equal isn't what we do here. We decided we're going to make this work together. Maher cited a survey of 173 colleges that found that 42% of them offered segregated residencies and 72% offered segregated graduation ceremonies. He says, well, congratulations, liberal parents. You just paid $100,000 for your kid to move to Biloxi, Mississippi in 1948, Maher said. I mean, we're a nation that professes diversity as a strength, but now half the kids' dorm rooms are determined by racial purity? You see what I mean about becoming so woke you can come back out of the racist side. You go so racist, you go so woke, you become racist at the end of the day. Quote, because what's next? What follows separate dorms, anthems, ceremonies, cafes, gyms, separate neighborhoods? That was redlining. They wouldn't let black people live in a town where I grew up. Then they do. That is the word, is progress. It's where the term progressive comes from. Most Americans, including nearly 80% of African Americans, want to live in racially diverse neighborhoods. Quote, the black silent majority seems to be behind the idea that you can't have a melting pot with two pots. Yes, America was born from the original sin of slavery, and redress for is still in order, but not at the cost of destroying a country that most black people now have found a decent life in with relatively higher living of standards and don't want to lose. And balkanizing our nation will certainly cause us to lose it. We need to stop regarding this new woke segregation as if it's some sort of cultural advancement. It's not. Countries do disintegrate into madness when they indulge their separatist tendencies. And he goes on to give all kinds of examples, like the Catholics and the Protestants in Ireland, the Sunnis and the Shiites in Iraq, Hindus and Muslims in Kashmir, everyone in Afghanistan, and that one Jew. We need to unite as one nation who come together and sing one anthem, always out of key. And look, like I said, I don't agree with everything Maher's got to say. I certainly don't think we need a new anthem. But a lot of what he says here is absolutely true. It's a fact. The NFL is part of the problem. Whoopi Goldberg is part of the problem. Okay? You're preaching a radical agenda, and the NFL is involved. Bill Maher come out and echoed a lot of common sense things last night, and he absolutely destroyed Whoopi Goldberg's argument. I'd love to understand or see how she's going to argue with what he just had to say. It's ridiculous. The woke and cancel culture are driving Bill Maher as crazy as most of us. And he has not been afraid to address it on his show. I have to give him some credit for that. I've been watching Bill Maher for 25 years. Politically incorrect. He's been around a long time. He's a liberal. He is. At times, he can be a little loony himself, but generally speaking, he's a classic liberal, they call it. And he's certainly not going to be in the AOC's, Rashida Tlaib's, and Ilhan Omar category of the party. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Bill Maher disintegrated Whoopi Goldberg last night. I did watch the show, and if you get a chance, the clip is on YouTube. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.